You do not fear the Bell P-39 Airacobra. That is the rule. That is the joke. 4 German fighter pilots over the Eastern Front, it is an article of faith. The P-39 is small, stubby. Its engine sits behind the pilot like a mistake. It has no turbo-supercharger. It chokes above 12,000 feet. At altitude where German doctrine reigns, it is supposed to be helpless. Luftwaffe veterans laugh when they see it. They call it underpowered, outdated, an American cast-off dumped on the Soviets through Lend-Lease, a plane meant to die, and the rule exists for a reason. In the West, Allied pilots struggle with it. In training manuals, it is already half dismissed. Against Bf-109s and Fw-190s soaring high, the P-39 is supposed to lose. Everyone knows this. German intelligence knows it. German pilots know it. German confidence rests on it. But in 1942, over the low skies of southern Russia, one man decided not to fight by the rules at all. And in doing so, he changes what German pilots fear. You are Alexander Pokryshkin. You are 29 years old. You grew up in Novosibirsk, the son of a factory worker. You built model airplanes as a boy. You memorized silhouettes. You argued with instructors. You refused to accept doctrine just because it was written. By the time the war begins, you are already different. You are not reckless. You are analytical. You sketch air battles in notebooks. You time enemy maneuvers with a stopwatch. You question why Soviet pilots keep dying the same way. In 1941, the Luftwaffe devastated the Red Air Force. Thousands of Soviet aircraft burn on the ground. German pilots dominate with altitude, surprise, and radio coordination. Soviet formations fly rigid patterns. They climb slowly. They turn flat. They die fast. You survive not by luck, but by learning. Then the Americans send a strange machine east. The Bell P-39 Airacobra arrives by the thousands. Nearly 5,000 of them. In the West, pilots dislike it. In the Soviet Union, it becomes something else entirely. Because the Eastern Front is different. Most air combat here happens below 3,000 meters. Ground attack, tank columns, Stukas diving, fighters hunting at treetop height. At these altitudes, the P-39's weaknesses disappear, and its strengths emerge. A 37mm cannon firing through the propeller hub. One hit can tear a bomber apart. A tight roll rate, excellent low-speed handling. Heavy armor around the cockpit, and crucially, radios that actually work. You look at the P-39 and do not see a failure. You see a predator meant to hunt low. The problem is doctrine. Soviet command wants you high-flying textbook formations. You refuse. You write reports arguing for altitude separation, free hunting pairs, vertical maneuvering. Your superiors reject them. One threatens court-martial. You keep flying your way anyway. Because the stakes are absolute. Lose the air and the army below bleeds. Lose pilots faster than you train them and the war ends. By early 1943, the battle lines hardened in the south. Kuban, Crimea. The Luftwaffe concentrates elite units. Aces with 100 victories. They expect easy kills. They do not expect you. It is morning over the Kuban bridgehead. You strap into your P-39. The cockpit smells of oil and metal. The engine rumbles behind your spine. You feel it through the seat. You taxi out with 3 others, 2 pairs. Loose. Flexible. Altitude, 1,200 meters. Speed, 420 kilometers per hour. Below you, the land crawls with movement. Columns. Smoke. Anti-aircraft bursts popping like black flowers. Your wingman calls out. Contacts. 12 o'clock. You look up. Dots. Then shapes. Then wings. Bf-109s. At least 8. Diving. German pilots expect panic. Tight turns. Desperate climbs. You do none of that. You push the nose down instead. Speed builds. The engine howls. The airframe vibrates. You feel the pressure compress your chest. The ground rushes up. Trees smear into green lines. At 600 meters you pull. Art. The P-39 responds instantly. It snaps into a climbing turn that surprises even you. The German lead overshoots just for a second. That second is enough. You squeeze the trigger. The 37mm cannon fires with a deep, concussive thump. Not a rattle. A punch. One shell crosses 300 meters in a blink. It hits the Messerschmitt in the engine block. The aircraft does not explode. It disintegrates. Panels rip away. The nose folds. The plane cartwheels downward, trailing smoke in pieces. The Germans scatter. You do not chase blindly. You climb just enough to reset. You watch. You wait. Another 109 dives on your wingman. Range 800 meters. 600, 400. You roll inverted and drop behind him. The German pilot pulls up, trying to regain altitude advantage. He cannot. Below 2,000 meters, the P-39 holds energy better than he expects. You stay glued to his tail. Your canopy rattles. Tracers flash past your left wing. 300 meters. You fire again. The cannon jams for half a second. Failure presses in. Your heart slams against your ribs. If the gun stays dead, you are a target. Then it clears. One more shot. The shell tears through the fuselage. The Bf-109 pitches violently, rolls, and dives straight into the riverbank. 2 kills. The radio erupts with shouts. Soviet voices sharp with disbelief. German voices suddenly clipped, urgent. You hear it. Confusion. They regroup higher. They try to climb. You do not follow. Instead, you orbit low, protecting the bombers below. Forcing the Germans to choose. Ignore you and lose their ground attack, or dive and fight where they are weakest. They dive. Again and again. Each time you bait them lower. At 1,000 meters, their advantage dies. Their turns widen. Their engines strain. Yours does not. Another engagement. Another overshoot. Another cannon shot. By the end of the sortie, 4 German fighters burn. On the ground that evening, mechanics count shell casings. Your plane has taken hits. Oil streaks the fuselage. You are shaking, not from fear but from adrenaline. You open your notebook. You draw the battle. Angles, speeds, altitudes. You are not guessing anymore. You are proving something. Days turn into weeks. Your unit racks up victories at an impossible rate. 50. Then 100. German pilots begin to avoid low altitude entirely. Captured Luftwaffe reports mention a new threat. A Soviet ace flying an American plane. Call sign spoken cautiously. Pokryshkin. The laughter stops. German pilots start scanning below them now. Their eyes keep dropping, searching the space they once ignored. And that hesitation, that split second of doubt, is lethal. The battles intensify. April 1943. The Kuban air battles reach a peak. On some days, over 200 aircraft clash in a single sector. You fly multiple sorties. Sometimes 3 in one day. On one mission, you spot a formation of Ju-87 Stukas lining up to dive. You do not wait. You push to full throttle. Speed, 520 kilometers per hour. You climb just enough to cross above their line, then roll straight down into them. Range, 500 meters. 400, 300. You fire once. The lead Stuka erupts. The formation breaks. Bombs scatter harmlessly into fields. Soviet troops below live another day. German escorts dive after you. 3 of them. You count in your head. 1, 2, 3. You pull into a vertical spiral, forcing them to follow. The last pilot stalls first. His nose drops. You reverse. 1 cannon shot. Gone. Another German pulls out, climbing desperately. Your wingman finishes him. The 3rd escapes, barely. That night, German command issues warnings. Avoid prolonged low-altitude combat. Maintain vertical separation. Identify P-39s early. It does not matter, because the rule is already broken. You finish the campaign with 20 victories in the Airacobra. Officially. Unofficially, more. By war's end, you will score 59 confirmed kills, most of them in the P-39. You are awarded Hero of the Soviet Union, twice. Then a 3rd time. But in the cockpit, in those moments when the cannon fires and the enemy falls away, you are not thinking about medals. You are thinking about survival. and about how close failure always is. What they do not understand at first is that this is bigger than one pilot. Soviet tactics change. Pairs replace rigid formations. Altitude layering becomes standard. Free hunting zones emerge. Pilots are encouraged to think, not just obey. The P-39 becomes the most successful Lend-Lease fighter in Soviet service. Soviet pilots score over 4,700 aerial victories in it. German pilots adjust, but too late. They lose freedom of movement at low altitude. Ground attack suffers. Reconnaissance becomes riskier. The Luftwaffe bleeds experienced men it cannot replace. By 1944, air superiority on the Eastern Front tilts decisively. Not because of one airplane, but because someone learned how to use it where it mattered. After the war, you live on. You write. You teach. You argue, still, with bureaucrats who prefer old rules. Alexander Pokryshkin dies in 1985, at the age of 72. Today his Airacobra sits in museums. Small, unassuming, easy to underestimate, just like the man who mastered it. This story matters now because it reminds you that victory is not always about having the best machine. Sometimes it is about understanding the fight better than your enemy, and daring to ignore what everyone else knows to be true. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. Every click tells the algorithm this piece of history is worth remembering. We're dedicated to rescuing these forgotten stories from the archives. If you want to join us on this mission, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment with your city or country and tell us if someone in your family served. Thank you for ensuring that Alexander Pokryshkin and the pilots of the 16th Guards Fighter Aviation Regiment do not disappear into silence. They deserve to be remembered.